Good morning, Wareham. It is Friday, August 30th, and we have a great show here for you. The news headlines, the weather report, and today in history. And I can see my screen flickering, but who knows. Anyhow, this morning, your favorite Russian is back to digest the week's news and events. Also, Noah Womble is back with another medical revelation. And prepare to laugh out loud thanks to laughter yoga. And for our coffee segment, we'll be airing my recent interview with the director and the outreach coordinator at Wareham Council on Aging. But for now, I would like to take this moment to thank Not Your Average Antiques, an antique shop down Cranberry Highway in East Wareham, for donating the props that you see in the morning show. So stay tuned because the weather and the news headlines are next. With high at 81 and low around 60. Tomorrow, except for a few afternoon clouds, mainly sunny. High near 80 degrees and partly cloudy skies at night with low at 57. Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy, high at 74 and low at 62. Monday, mostly cloudy skies, a stray of shower or thunderstorm is possible, high near 75 and low at 64. There were plenty of news stories and coming up at the news headlines. Wareham Week at the following stories. South Coast Health has announced yesterday the closing of their maternity unit at Toby Hospital that is scheduled for the end of this year, December 31st. The hospital also plans to dedicate their entire third floor at St. Luke's to inpatient care for mothers, newborns, and children. The announcement comes as the number of births at Toby Hospital has been declining. South Coast Health said that the staff will contact expectant mothers who plan to give birth at Toby in 2020 and guide them to another location of their choice. The hospital corporation said the change will ensure the success and the sustainability of Toby Hospital. Also, they are planning to expand the emergency department, which is undergoing a $25 million expansion and renovation. And selectmen are reviewing the Wareham's master plan. The plan addresses a community's goals for land use, housing, climate change, economic development, services and facilities, transportation, open space and recreation, and natural and cultural resources. Having a master plan in place means town's officials can work from a shared vision for the community and makes the town eligible for a certain state grants. The newly drafted plan was created with input from Wareham residents and the help of the Southeastern Regional Planning and Economic Development District, which is based in Taunton and helps with community planning in 27 communities. The goal is to help towns understand their goals and priorities and create a master plan that can correspond with those goals. And next year, purchasing a sticker allowing access to the transfer stations at Benson Brook and on Route 28 will cost $125 for residents of Wareham, Marion, and Carver. The increase in cost, approved by the majority of members of the committee that runs the Carver, Marion, Wareham Regional Refuse Disposal District, will cover the district's operating cost. The district is also considering upgrading the transfer station on Route 28 in Rochester, which is on land owned by the district and has the room to expand. Next year will be the last that the district will have free waste disposal through a decades-long contract with CMAS. Residents can expect costs to go up after 2020 as the district will have to pay for trash disposal. The district will also be hosting a hazardous waste day on November 16th from 9 a.m. to noon at Benson Brook Transportation Station in Marion and the Salt Shed in Carver on Rochester Road. And to another news of the day, Wareham will soon have a new Domino's pizza as the Zoning Board of Appeals approved special permit to allow the business to open in a building shared by Brownie's Liquor at 189 Marion Road. The owner of Domino's franchise is estimated that the construction will take about 6 weeks and hopes to open doors and turn on ovens by the first week of November. The restaurant will be take-out only with limited seating, a drive-through, and what they promise to be a very good pizza. Now we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more. And welcome back. So your favorite Russian, Nadia Karitnikova, is back in the studio to digest the week's news and the events. And she also has an announcement that is going to make you cry. Welcome, Nadia.
Hi, Quinn.
Okay, Nadia, what do you want to talk about today?
So I think one news that is big, but it's pretty self-explanatory, is Toby Homestead was demolished.
Yes.
And we had a great video on this on YouTube. Our IT guy, Andrew, only left the crushing parts, so the most interesting ones. So if you want to check out the full video of Toby Homestead demolition, check out our YouTube website.
It's very open there now.
It is, and the stairs are just going into nowhere.
To nowhere.
Yes.
Oh my God, that would be a good picture, a prop to take pictures with.
Mm-hmm.
The stairs leading to nowhere.
Or you're standing on top of the stairs that lead to you.
Oh my God. Yes, we should do that today.
Yeah.
Okay, so Toby, bye-bye Toby. And also, Toby Hospital is going through something, right?
Yes, so they're going through two important things. First of all, as you know, and as our readers might know, where there used to be Toby Hospital, they're going to build another emergency wing, which is going to accommodate about 15,000 people. And Toby Hospital also is closing its maternity unit here in Wareham.
And what is the public opinion regarding that? How many mothers is this or families is this going to affect?
So according to the press release, each year 375 mothers give birth at the Toby Hospital maternity unit, but this number has been declining by 22% since 2013.
Okay.
So it's not very profitable for them to keep it running, but I do know that the maternity unit is located right next to the emergency unit. So my guess is that they're going to be demolishing the wall that's between them and extending emergency unit as well within the Toby Hospital. That's just my guess.
Did they comment on why the number has been declining?
No, but they haven't. And I think it's a good topic to write about it. But I think we all know that Wareham has a growing number of older residents and a declining number of younger residents. So I think it's just a trend that's happening here in town.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that would be a good story to follow up on.
But I personally think that, of course, it's a big deal. But there is a St. Louis hospital right 30 minutes away from us. And as we know, babies don't just come flying out. There is first contractions that happen. You have some time to travel to New Bedford.
St. Luke's, okay. But it's just the fact of having Toby Hospital being an emergency center, having maternity ward here, so it makes things a little bit easier. You find yourself having a full, composed hospital versus just a segment of it. I think they're going to move towards more of an emergency kind of hospital.
It seems like it, yes.
All right, and since we have a lot of older people here, I'm sure there's need for emergency care. All right, what's the other news?
So we have pizza coming into town.
Oh, okay.
Domino pizza, as you already said. I feel like you already said everything. But I do have a small rendering, so to say, of how it's going to look.
You brought another.
Not a lot of drastic changes, but additional sign will be next to the Brown's Liquor store.
Okay, can we show that? So we are going to use camera 1. Can you pick that up? All right, so that particular sign there, that's what she's
So it's right
indicating.
next to the Brown Liquor store, correct?
Okay, and somebody made a comment that would be great because there's Brownie Liquors right there and you got Domino's. You're just picking up your pizza and you're going home.
Like 2 in 1. It's like a convenience store, but in a different sense.
So why is this a big deal, having Domino's?
Well, I personally think it's a big deal because some people in our comments are complaining that it's a franchise, it's not really helping our town, not helping local business. But I think the more life we get in this town, the better. It doesn't matter where it's coming from.
Okay.
Because when I walk on the main street, there's so many good empty buildings that are just dying. No one wants to use them. And it just makes me happy that some business is coming in here.
Well, this particular place here, Brownie Liquors, all right. What should we call it? What other pizza places are down there? There isn't any. We got...
with the franchise, we have only Papa Gino's, I think.
Is Papa Gino's? No, is Papa Gino's located around that side?
No,
we don't have anything around that side.
No, we don't.
Because if you keep going and you pass Marion Road, you're going to find yourself at Rose and Vicky's.
Yes.
Which they also do pizza. But that's a mom and pop's kind of shop. So I think this was a good location to locate it. At least it wasn't down Cranberry Highway.
Yes.
Where most fast food places, chains are located. At least it wasn't in Onset because they have already a pizza place in Onset. And at least it wasn't down Main Street because we have, 2 places that do pizza. We got Minerva's, and Slice of Heaven is right next door.
Yes, and also Mama Mary sometimes.
Mama Mary's does pizza?
Frequently, I think on Fridays.
On Fridays does pizza, okay.
Not that I'm interested, but yeah, I occasionally go there.
Have you ever had Domino's before?
No, I actually haven't.
Okay. All right, so tell me about your sad news. Sad for us.
Yeah, I will not be here for the next 2 weeks because I'm going home. Yay.
Where's home?
Moscow.
Moscow.
Yes, in Russia.
So you're flying on Wednesday?
Yes, correct.
And how long are you going to stay?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes.
How long is the flight?
9 hours.
Straight?
Yes. No, not including the stop at Europe.
Oh, you're stopping at Europe for
Yes.
how long?
2 hours.
Nice.
Well, I will be in the airport. I will not be actually traveling in Europe.
So, what kind of weather are we expecting in Moscow at this time?
Rain, I think, cold.
And have you thought of your first meal back home?
Yes, I will be eating fried cottage cheese. It's my most favorite.
Fried cottage
Yes.
cheese? Tell me about fried cottage cheese.
Yes, it's just you take some flour, you take some cottage cheese, you fry it on the pan, and you put some sugar on it, anything you want, and then you eat it. Oh, and eggs, I forgot.
Whoa, you take flour,
Eggs,
and
cottage cheese.
And then you mix it together.
Yes. And then you pour some oil on the pan.
And then make a ball of it and then...
Yes, make a ball of this and then fry it.
Okay, you guys eat very unhealthy food.
No, it's breakfast food. It's actually healthy. It's a breakfast food.
Cottage cheese, fried.
Yes.
What's stopping you from frying mozzarella sticks and having
It's
them for
not deep
breakfast?
fried. It's just panned.
Oh, like a pancake kind of
Yes.
thing. Oh, so
Yes.
your pancake has cottage cheese in it.
So to say, yes, it's this thick.
Holy.
So it's pan-fried, not deep-fried. Clarification.
So you can make it here.
Of course.
Send me the recipe that I can make it and show it.
Okay.
Or make it, send me the video, and then we can show what you had for breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you're interested in this.
Yes, I'm very interested.
Okay.
Wow, fried cottage. When you said it, I was like, I just pictured a bunch of cottage cheese, deep frying it. Just, ugh.
It's pan-fried.
Pan-fried. Yeah. Okay, so that's your first meal.
Yes.
And you're going home to 6 pets.
Yes, we have 6 pets. 3 dogs and 3 cats.
Their names?
Okay, dog number 1, Rex. Dog number 2 is Jim. Dog number 3 is Chernish.
Chernish.
It comes from the word black, because he's black. We're not very creative, as you can see.
Chernish, okay.
And then first cat, Vasya. Second cat, Alisa. Third cat, Lis, which means fox, because he looks like a fox.
Okay, so six pets.
Yes.
3 dogs, 3 cats.
Yes, and they're all getting along.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
So what are you most looking forward to?
God, to see my family. And I wish I could say that I will be like visiting museum, will be expanding my worldview, but I'll be just in food coma for the whole time. Laying on the couch, playing with my dogs, and then repeating the cycle.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. I'll send you some pictures.
Yes, please do. We'll be airing them here.
Mm-hmm.
You can get our show.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll be airing your adventures here every single Friday. Instead of having you do the news, we're going to check out Moscow through your eyes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Nadia, for being here.
Yeah, it was nice to talk about this.
So that was Nadia Karinakova, our weekly news correspondent, here to digest the week's news and events. Also, she shared her vacation to Moscow. Anyhow, we're going to take a break and we'll be back with more.
Are you tired of having to send money for your Office 365 subscription? Are you looking for other programs that you don't have to pay for? Here are a couple of solutions to some open source programs that you might want to check out. If you want a few great alternatives to Microsoft Office, try Apache OpenOffice or LibreOffice. Both are fantastic alternatives. Keep in mind that if you still need to create a Microsoft Word or Excel document, both are able to save files in the right formats. Another popular replacement for Microsoft Office is my personal favorite, Docs, which you can use free if you have a Gmail account. You can also use Google Slides for spreadsheets and Slides for slideshows, while saving files is easy if you use your Google Drive. If you're in the market for a new photo editing program, try Paint.net, which is completely free. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that Photoshop has, but it can still do basic photo editing, adjusting, and airbrushing. Another nifty program to try out if you're into sound editing is Audacity, which you can use on either a Windows or a Macintosh computer. Just search for Paint.net or Audacity on Google, and you can download both for free. If you're interested in learning about the basics of Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and organizing files, come to our free intermediate computer classes, which will run on September 5th, September 12th, and September 19th next month at 1:30 p.m. on Thursdays here at the main library. You can also check out our website to find out more about our basic computer skills classes. If you have any questions or would like to register for any of these classes, you can contact me at the library at smiller@salesinc.org, or you can call my extension at 508-295-2343, extension 1012. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of Checkout of the Week from the Wareham Free Library.
So our Dickus family celebrated their 50-year anniversary earlier last week. Yes. And so by celebrating it, they ended up opening a 25-year-old time capsule that was buried in 1994 by that particular class. And so they opened it to find out what they actually buried, and families and new students were there to enjoy the moment. So here is a little bit of what took place.
25 years ago,
Miss Ansel, our school secretary, who has been here at Deacon's for some time now, had a map on her desk that said to be opened in 2019, and I said, well, what is this? And she said, oh, Bethany, we have to open it. It's from 25 years ago, and it's buried somewhere in the courtyard. I said, oh, how fantastic. So we began thinking about how we would do it, and we thought that we should have students from today, from present day, and our students from then be invited. So I put it on Facebook with a big invitation. 13,000 people saw it. They were so excited, sharing memories on Facebook. It was really amazing. And we have quite a few alumni here tonight to celebrate when we opened up that time capsule.
Well, I want to welcome all of you back to Deacon's School, whether it's now, today, or from 25 years ago. If you just retired and you're back, I'm so happy. Thank you. Welcome all of you. The reason why we're opening it tonight and today is it's our 50th anniversary at Deacon's School. And the people that put this together, the students from 25 years ago, asked us to open it on our 50th anniversary. So without further ado, Mr. Santos and Ms. Hazlitt are going to open up the time capsule from 1994. There. So it appears each grade put materials in here to preserve. We have Play-Doh, still relevant 25 years later, a little wet. This is so cool. Look, Legos. It could be just like we put this time capsule together yesterday. We've got Legos. I guess we thought 25 years ago Legos wouldn't be in, but they're way in, and more in than ever. Wow, this is, oh, and an advertisement says charge it, and they are bicycles. Oh, it says Play-Doh. I like to play with Play-Doh because it is smushy and fun to make stuff. It smells bad. It comes in lots of colors. It comes from the makers of Play School. This is from Katie Latham, Allison R. in Miss Pearson's class, grade 2. Okay, in this grade 3, we have Nickelodeon Gak Splat. I don't know what that is. I guess that did go away after 25 years. Yeah, Nickelodeon Gak Splat. Oh, Power Rangers. That was popular in 1994. Oh, and a Polly Pocket. I saw it on Facebook that someone put their Polly Pocket in here. Let's read. There's directions. Polly Pocket. Girls like Polly Pockets because they are fun to use. Polly Pockets come with other Polly Pocket things. Some girls like Polly Pockets because you can do a lot of things like put them in your pocket. There you go. Some people like it because you can bring it wherever you go. From Kerry Weisberg and Miss Tomlinson's class. Miss Tomlinson's here representing tonight too. And there's the Polly Pocket. We're going to have these on display in a wonderful case all throughout the year for all of us to look at. Oh, and then we have an advertisement, your choice. Oh, it looks like I know Sonic. Sonic was out in 1994. He's still around today, too. Not much has changed. Oh, this is about Gak. Gak is sticky and mushy. It is fun. Gak is made from Nickelodeon, the only network for kids. Well, not so true anymore. If it dries out, put it in the sink for a few days. Brian Tonelli in Miss Sims' class. Okay, Miss Sims couldn't be with us tonight because she's away in her wonderful retirement travels. Oh, did you just see yourself, Miss Hampley? Did you see yourself? Okay. Oh, this is the letter Miss Hazlitt wrote on John W. Deacon's School. Leo Panuzzi, principal. Melissa Drake, assistant principal. June 2nd, 1994. Dear Deacon's School students of 2019, as librarian of Deacon's School and coordinator of the project to create this time capsule with our students, may I congratulate you on the 50th anniversary of your school. You should read this, Deb. You should be the one reading this. Our time capsule was created to commemorate the 25th anniversary of Deacon's School and leave it with future students a little part of what life was like at Deacon's School in 1994. This project was totally student-driven, with committees representing each grade responsible for producing each grade's donation to the time capsule. There is much excitement and enthusiasm among the students and teachers about this project. We wonder if perhaps one of our students is principal. I was a freshman in college. A teacher or a parent present at your celebration. We have that tonight. We have our parents. We have students from 25 years ago. Nice to see you all. And maybe a reporter covering the story for the newspaper. We've got the reporters and TV here tonight too. Each grade's contribution to the time capsule are as follows. Kindergarten, student pictures, signatures, t-shirt. Grade 1, you got a t-shirt in there? Grade 2, report card. I look forward to seeing that. School logo and toys. Grade 3, newspaper, front page and toys. Grade 4, photo album. And a 1994 penny. We still have those around. Grade 5, letter to students and signature scroll. I think that you just put that out there too. Sincerely, Deborah Hazlitt, librarian. And this is Miss Hazlitt today. 25 years later. And then I will let you all go around. Oh, look at this. This is so wonderful. Wareham Courier, June 9th, 1944. No, we're not going that far back. 1994. I have Elizabeth Whitehouse, Kristen Frederico, Danny Mayer, Marcy Harris, and Ryan Bellevue. He's going to be a doctor. Marcy is going to be a teacher. Danny, he's going to be a doctor too, and he's going to have some wife and kids. Kristen is going to work as a lawyer. And she's going to be a mom, and she's going to have a husband too. And Elizabeth Whitehouse, she's going to be a mother, and she's going to work as a teacher. And can you add that I'll have another husband or something? I'll have a husband. So there it is, Wareham Courier. How wonderful. We'll put this all on display.
What are you planning to do with the time capsule?
We're going to put it on display at Deacon's School, so it'll be available for open houses this year and any of our events. So we're going to put it in one of our display cases for everyone in the community to see.
So does it mean, did you guys follow on the tradition? Did you bury something this year?
Not yet. We were thinking about doing it for the new school, but it is something that we are talking about collecting together.
So you were the student and you were the teacher 25 years ago?
It was probably 27 at this point, yeah.
27,
Yeah.
we just met after many, many years.
Yes.
I had her in 3rd grade, and then for the capsule, you were in 5th grade.
Mr. Lanaville. Awesome.
Tell me how things were different back then compared to now, 25 years later.
Oh my goodness.
You know what? It still smells the same in here. It still has the same. I walked through those doors and I said, oh boy, right back in time.
I think our class sizes were larger then. I remember having maybe 30 students in my class, and now 20, 25. So.
Well, welcome back. So it is Friday. Typically, it was supposed to be Monday. That's Noah's segment, but he decided to make it Friday. And also today, this is his last day. So we decided to give him full 10 minutes, and he lucky. So today is going to be talking about digestion. Welcome, Noah.
Hi, Queen.
Hi.
All right. So imagine you're with your friends. It's the end of summer. You're in the Poconos. You're having a barbecue.
What's a Poconos?
It's like the mountains or something
Okay.
in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So you're having a nice barbecue. You get a burger, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to eat it. Not going to throw it away. You're going to eat it.
What's on a burger?
Okay, well, we don't have that much time to go into
Okay.
detail. But where do you think digestion's going to start when you have that burger?
Right on your mouth, chewing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people say it's like with your eyes and your nose, actually, because your senses kind of tell you when you're going to eat. So, like, you'll see food, you'll get hungry,
Yeah.
and you'll start salivating. So some will say it's even before it even enters your body. But as far as we're concerned, like, digestion will start when you put it in your mouth.
What's the definition of digestion?
Digestion is breaking down food to get the nutrients. And there's two types of digestion.
Okay.
There's mechanical and chemical digestion.
Are we focusing on both today or just
Yeah,
doing
both.
one? All right,
both.
good.
Mechanical digestion is mostly done in the mouth, where you'll start. You got your teeth, of course, and you've got salivary glands all inside. There's a few big. I think there's 3 big pairs of salivary glands, and then there's like dozens of mini ones. So those will excrete saliva, and those have enzymes that break down the different sugars and fats. They start the chemical digestion. So you chew it up, and then it'll go down the esophagus, through the pharynx, down the esophagus. And the esophagus is just, it really doesn't digest anything. It's a mucus-covered tube that helps push down the food down to the stomach, where more digestion will occur. So you reach the stomach. It looks like this weird shape, right? And here you've got the different acids that'll start breaking down, really breaking down the food that you ate. So you have acids, and the stomach is very acidic. Obviously, it's secreting acids. So you have to have this mucus created by the stomach to protect the walls of the stomach so it doesn't eat itself. When you feel heartburn, that's the acid in your stomach going up. I'll use green. It's an acidic color. So the acids in your stomach are kind of going up into the esophagus, where it's not as protected by mucus. So that's why you feel that pain. It's kind of the acid in your stomach eating.
That's a condition, right?
It can be a condition if it's chronic. It happens frequently, just once in a while to like everybody.
Okay.
So if you feel it once or twice, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
But if you feel it often, it can be a condition because it can start eating away at the esophagus, and obviously you don't want that. It can cause some damage. So from the, what color should we use? Let's use purple. From the stomach, we go into the duodenum of the small intestine, which becomes the jejunum, which becomes the cecum, the ileum.
Okay.
So
What are all this fancy terminology mean?
so these are just different parts of the small intestine.
Gotcha.
Really, as far as like you or I are concerned in everyday life, small intestine is just one big organ.
Okay.
It runs about 20 feet long if you stretched it out. Yeah, I know. Can we get a look on Queen's face for that? And what the small intestine does is that's where you absorb most of the nutritional value of your food. So there's different bacteria that help break it down even further in your gut, the flora of the intestines. And your food will travel the 20 feet of your small intestine and then enter the large intestine. So the large intestine.
Orange. Oh,
yeah, let's do orange. You'll enter the cecum of the large intestine, like right over here. And then you go through the different parts of the colon. The ascending colon, transverse, the descending. Then you'll end up at the rectum, then out through the anus when you're all done. So the large intestine is really just to get rid of the waste. It absorbs any leftover water.
Okay.
To kind of just like save water. The body doesn't ever like wasting water, and it helps concentrate the fecal matter to get rid of it. So this is pretty much all of the digestive system that absorbs food and breaks it down, but it can't really do it alone. So you have the accessory organs of digestion. One of them is the pancreas, which is kind of like, we'll put it right here. This isn't too accurate of a drawing. But the pancreas is near the, we'll put it right there, near the entrance of the small intestine from the stomach. And it secretes different types of enzymes to help break down the food some more. And it helps also balance out the acids from the stomach. So it'll release bases to make it neutralized. When you got the food coming out of the stomach, it's very acidic because of the acid the acidic nature of the stomach. So you gotta balance that out while you're going to the small intestine because it's not covered in the same mucus. You also have the liver, which is a big thing over here, and then right next to it is its little brother, the gallbladder. So as far as digestion is concerned, they create bile, and bile breaks down fat. And really, fat's difficult to break down just based on its molecular structure. So you have to use bile to kind of just like tear it open, tear it apart. So as you can see, this is all, the whole digestive system is one big, like, I guess you could say socialist workers union, where everybody's working toward the one goal, the hammer and sickle, you could say, I guess. Everybody's working through the one goal to get nutrition up to the body at large. So we're all working together, but tons of different problems can occur. I mentioned heartburn a minute ago. Gallstones is one thing that can affect you. So bile is made in the liver and then stored in the gallbladder. If you have a backup for any reason, the gallbladder can start getting like congested and will precipitate out gallstones, which can be very, very painful, cause nausea and vomiting, and make it tough to digest fats because you can't release the bile. Luckily, that can be resolved via a cholecystectomy, which is either complete removal of the gallbladder, which is a livable thing. Gallbladder is kind of not that important. You can remove it and still live. Or you can try to just go and get out the gallstones. But if you remove the gallbladder, you can live a normal life, just watch the fats that you eat and stuff. Another disease is gastroschisis, and that's a birth defect caused by a myriad of different things. It could be genetic factors. It's more common in teenage mothers, and it can be caused by drinking alcohol while pregnant. And it's even thought that different toxins in the environment that you live in can cause this birth defect. So gastroschisis is when the intestines, or really any part of the gut, is developed on the outside of the body when a baby's born. So
oh, you have a picture?
Yes, we have a picture. It's not a real picture, it's just a diagram.
Oh my God.
But it's not always this drastic where the entire intestines are out. It can be just a little loop, or it can be even worse than this where like the entire innards are outside. And with modern medicine, this is typically not too big of a problem because it can be detected before the baby's born, and right when the baby's born, obviously you'll be able to see it. Modern medicine, like I said, you can have surgery to repair the stomach, and with proper antibiotics, things can go right, and the child can live a happy life and survive. So.
Well, thank you so much. I've learned so much about this digestive system. Oh my goodness. We needed longer time than this, right?
I know, yeah. It's a lot to go through, but I mean, you can just keep going. It snowballs, and
we can expand more on it. Well, thank you so much, Noah, and you're leaving us. You're going back to school. Thank you for your contribution here at Good Morning Wareham.
Thank you for having me, Queen. It's a pleasure as always.
So that was Noah Wombat here to talk about digestion system. We are going now to laugh out loud thanks to laughter yoga. Work out your risible muscles during an hour of laughter yoga. This latest health craze is sweeping the world, where people can laugh without a reason.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ha, 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 ha.
But this is a whole hour class.
Correct.
Specifically to laugh.
And people love it. Did you like it?
I loved it. I didn't think I was going to make it a whole hour.
In India, they laugh every single day. Every single day they meet at a park and they laugh before they go to work. If I could do it 3 days a week, I would do that. I would do that, yes.
Laughter yoga was born in India in 1995 by Dr. Madan Kataria, also known as the guru of giggling. The exercise combines laughter exercises with yoga breathing, which bring more oxygen to the body and brain.
As I mentioned, breathing is important. So every few exercises, we'll stop and we'll do some breathing. Take a deep breath, raise your hands up, produces oxygen, gets into your brain, gets into your bloodstream. There's so many studies out. It's good for bronchitis, it's good for asthma, it's good for depression.
A typical session is an hour long, featuring clapping, breathing, childlike playfulness, and laughter exercise. So what's your favorite laugh?
I don't know if I've had one yet. I like the lion one a lot.
What's the lion?
The lion one. We didn't do it tonight. I'm sorry. The lion. Want to do it with me?
Okay.
The lion one is, these are our claws, okay? You open your mouth nice and wide, and you stick your tongue out.
Aren't you afraid that if we keep on inducing laughter, we push it out of us when it does not associate with the particular thing that triggers such a reaction? We may lose that reaction on things that actually makes us laugh.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
It has not happened to you yet,
No,
right?
no.
Okay. So how do you help your students take these lessons, this moment, to take it home with them, to take it to their jobs, to take it to grocery store, to take it to Dunkin' Donuts when somebody messes up your order? How do you help them realize that they can still laugh?
If you laugh more often, then you sort of are building up the inner child. You're producing the feel-good hormones, and you can kind of foster the inner joy inside of you.
Laughter yoga is free. You may join Doug on Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. at Roland Thatcher Hall in Wareham.
Bring water and dress comfortably because it's an active show.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so right now we are going to do history. Okay, on this day in space history, the first African American went into space in 1983. A member of the Air Force, Guinan's S. Bulford, was on the spacecraft Challenger during the ship's third mission. The crew spent 6 days in space where they launched a satellite for the Indian government and conducted other experiments while in orbit. The shuttle was able to land safely at the end of the mission. During Burford's career at NASA, he logged a total of 700 hours in orbit. Also today in Cold War history, a hotline was established between Washington, D.C. and Moscow, Russia in 1963. After the Cuban Missile Crisis the year prior, it seemed imperative that the United States President Kennedy could speak directly to Soviet leader, his name is Khrushchev, to avoid the miscommunication that could lead to nuclear war. The phone line was a great improvement over having to spend telegraphed letters, taking only minutes instead of hours to communicate. It was first used by Leonard Johnson in 1967 during the Six-Day War in the Middle East. Also today in green history, the California Senate passed the Global Warming Solution Act in 2006. The act made California America's first state to limit the amount of carbon dioxide and other waste emitted per year. Republican governor of the time, Arnold Schwarzenegger, was able to work with the Democratic Congress to get the bill passed. The state did have to fight hard against the automotive industry. However, as California made up 10% of the nation's car industry, and President George W. Bush was a big supporter of automotive business. And for today's birthday, shout out goes to the only Mary Shelley, born in London in 1797. She is best known as the author of Frankenstein, important to both genre of horror and feminist theory. Mary Shelley and her iconic book are now remembered to this day. And happy birthday to everybody else celebrating their big day today. That is all for Today in History segment. To learn more cool historical facts, you can visit online under history.com. We are going to take a very brief break, and when we come back, we're going to be hearing from the Council on Aging Director and Outreach Worker. Remind us about this particular Council on Aging. Remind us about this particular Council on Aging and the people that come here.
Well, this Council on Aging is very unique because a number of years ago, when the town did not pass the 2.5 override, the budget of the Council on Aging was completely cut. So there was zero funding from the town, and that's been for about 5 years. Fortunately, we were able to get a grant 2.5 years ago, and I was hired for 6 months. And through additional grant money, I've stayed on for the next 2 years part-time, like 8 to 10 hours a week through grant money.
Tell us about the need in this community.
Well, the senior population, as in every town, but even more so in Wareham, continues to grow. So I would say a good 33% of the population of Wareham are senior citizens.
And are they seniors in need, seniors who are still working?
There's so many seniors in need in town. We have a wonderful new outreach worker, Kat Rowe, and she'll connect people to the agencies that can help them. So a person that needs food, maybe we can hook them up with Old Colony Elder Services. 150 meals a day, Monday through Friday, we deliver through volunteers. Volunteers come here, pick up the meals, and deliver them to homebound seniors. That number is going to continue to grow. And those are people that we're aware of who we now are giving services to. How many people are out there that aren't aware of the services? So that's a big part of our outreach, is to make people aware of what we can offer here.
Now, when the budget cuts or when the town reviews the budget, often the argument is, or the excuse is, that we are cutting a position or a department that isn't a priority in the community compared to others. And you guys were cut as well. What is your take when we cut Council on Aging while we have a growing population of senior citizens?
Well, to me, it's the one agency that shouldn't be cut, and I do believe that the people in this town realize how important the Council on Aging is. We've had lots of new volunteers coming in. People are aware of the Council on Aging now, and there's a lot we can do without funding. We certainly need funding. You need funding for a director. You have to have a director to oversee things. You know, we can have volunteers leading trips or leading activities. That's fine, but you still need somebody to oversee all that.
Okay. So, seniors here, I visited the Council on Aging in Bourne. was quite different
Yes.
from this Council on Aging here. Tell us about the restrictions in services that you cannot provide due to the lack of funding.
We can connect people to the correct services. We are very able to do that. There's many services out there that are free to seniors that don't have enough money. Food stamps, for example, we're trying to get more people on food stamps. That's not funding from the town, that's state and federal funding. Meals on Wheels, that's a federally funded program. So getting people involved in that does not cost the town money, it's just hooking them up to those services.
If you had all the funding you could, how would this Council on Aging look differently?
Number one, we'd have our own building, and we wouldn't be in the basement of an old school. But that's not going to happen. When I first came, that was kind of the first priority of the Council on Aging Board, was to find a location for us. We looked at a number of the old schools, but it would have cost millions of dollars to make it handicap accessible, to clean out the asbestos, to do things, so it just wasn't something that was going to happen. So I think we came to the realization that this is where we are now. One idea that was floated around a few years ago was to merge, not merge, but maybe the Council on Aging could work out of the YMCA. I know the YMCA was looking to put on an addition at one point, and if we could work with them and we could have our offices there and exercise there, have a big room to serve lunches, I think that could be a possibility.
You're still fighting for them.
Still fighting for them, yes.
So in this fight, what is the biggest challenge apart from funding? Do you face any challenge from the community, people not relating to the cause?
I think the people in Wareham are very willing to help out. We also need them to come to town meeting to support the budget, because a budget is important. We finally gotten on the town budget for the first time in 5 years. We want to continue to be on the budget and hopefully see that budget increase year after year.
So speaking of a budget, we have Council on Aging, Police Department, School Department, Library. Those are just some that are coming in my head right now.
That's true.
So if you're in a panel and you had to defend yourself, why should you be permanently secured in the budget and to have that budget grow every year? What is the speech you would give?
Well, number one, we are one of the largest populations. Like I said, over 33% are seniors. Seniors have given their time and talents to work, to their town, to their churches, to their parks. You know, it's not that they want to be taken care of, because most seniors don't need to be taken care of. They can take care of themselves, but to have a nice place to come and take classes, to exercise, to come see their friends. Those that can't afford to be able to come and get a hot meal every day. Those that can't afford things to be able to come and get help with food stamps, with a housekeeper, with somebody to help the spouse if one has Alzheimer's, one's disabled, if both are disabled, which is happening, you know, to make them safe and secure in their home and know they're going to be taken care of.
I could tell you've been thinking of that response for a very long time.
Well, I just think, you know, our seniors, of course, seniors are important, and they need to be taken care of.
And they will say children important.
Right.
They will say libraries important.
They are all important, and I don't think we always need to compete with each other.
Okay.
That's how I feel. Of course, they're all important. We have to make it so we can take care of all of them.
Now, are there ways that the Council on Aging could fundraise apart from seeking grants?
Actually, that is a great question, because next month in September we are having our second casino night, which is run by the Wareham Friends of Elders and Wareham Advocates for Seniors, which are two fundraising groups for the Council on Aging. Town, we cannot fundraise.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay.
You did great.
Okay, you're going to edit that thing, please?
Well, speaking of a lot of vulnerable people, our senior population here are vulnerable.
Yes.
So tell me, within the month that you've been here, what were you able to grasp, to learn about our senior citizens?
They're very sweet, first of all, so I very much enjoy working with seniors. But there's a lot of disability. People are trying to be independent as best as they can, but facing a lot of problems in their lives. It could be medical, it could be that they have no family, they could be homeless, things that you and I take for granted, they're struggling with. And in struggling, it's kind of like a full-time job trying to get the services that they need, try to understand, you know, where to go. Transportation is a huge problem, just getting to a different agency, you know, to get the services that they need.
Okay. So you are here you're the outreach coordinator.
Outreach worker.
Worker, okay. I'm just going to insert the coordinator part.
Yeah.
There isn't another one, is there?
No.
You're the only one?
Here, yeah.
Yes, okay. So tell me what that job entails.
It's basically case management. So somebody will come to me with a certain problem. It could be homelessness. It could be they want to apply for food stamps. It could be domestic violence. And I'll take that information. That's their primary concern. But I also take other information to find out what other needs they may have, because quite often there are other needs that need to be met. And we try to meet those as well and try to be creative in meeting those needs.
Now, your department just recently got approved for funding for a full-time director, 30 hours director. So funding is there, but not quite there, right? Not adequate. Tell me the funding restrictions and how they impact your position, your work here.
Well, my job, as I understand it, is grant funded. So I get 10 hours a week. So if you can imagine somebody comes in to see me, I'm spending probably an hour with them. So it's very limited amount of time. People come in all the time when I'm not even here. And that's a problem, because for a lot of them, transportation is a problem. So just getting here, you know, can be difficult for them or cost them money. So I could use some more hours.
You could use some more hours.
That costs money.
So knowing that, what are some ways that you're thinking, your brain working on how to maximize what we have?
Volunteers. Volunteers could be very useful in helping out here in many different ways.
Now, you say that you are the equivalent of a caseworker for the seniors. What are some of the issues that you could tell us regarding our seniors, our just population here, that you have heard within the month that you've been here?
Well, I don't think that our seniors are any different from any others, really. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people who have very limited income, who don't know what services are available to them, and that's something that's very important for me to let them know, even if they're not asking me about it. I want to take the information about their lives, their income, who they're living with, do they rent, do they own, do they have a disability, and try to put together a plan for them to make life as easy and comfortable as possible. These are supposed to be the golden years, right? So I'd like to help make them the golden years for them.
It's sad that you said these are supposed to be the golden years, and if they are not, then not a lot of hope is left there.
There's always hope.
Okay.
There's always hope. That's what I believe.
So for when you're looking for volunteers, what would be the hook to, what would be the speech to lure them in here? Why should they help their seniors?
We're all going to be seniors, hopefully, one day. So it's great to just keep in mind that, what you might want to be treated like, you have the opportunity to give to somebody else.
This morning, it's Labor weekend, Labor Day weekend, so it's going to be a nice long weekend. I thank you and have a pleasant day. Bye.